Hey everybody, I'm Bryn Bamber. I am a career burnout coach, and you can learn more about burnout and how to overcome it at brynbamber.com. So good morning. It's a beautiful morning here in Toronto, and I'm just out on my balcony. I apologize for the ambulance noises. And today I wanted to talk to you about intuitive marketing and intuitive selling. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a career burnout coach, and a lot of my clients who burn out have ended up leaving their jobs, their more traditional jobs, and starting their own businesses. So some of the work I'm doing now as a career burnout coach is helping my clients take those first steps in starting their businesses, which is really fun. I'm really loving it. And something about me that I love is, kind of bringing together the yin and the yang. Hi, Yuma. Bringing together the yin and the yang. So bringing together things that are, very ethereal, very maybe even spiritual, very intuitive, creative, and bringing them together with things. Hi, Eric. Things that are practical and tangible and hard facts. And I think, hi Emma, I think that I like that kind of bringing together the yin and the yang because my mom is very spiritual and intuitive and creative, and then my dad is a physicist, and he's very logical and concrete, and so some of the things that I love and I feel like that I'm good at are bringing those two sides together. So I wanted to talk to you today about intuitive marketing and intuitive selling, because I feel like that's kind of bringing together that yin and that yang to do things in a way that I think is it's the middle path. I think to do intuitive marketing, intuitive selling, and I think it's the most effective way to grow an authentic business is to bring those things together. So how do you do that? So let's start by talking about someone who is at the very, very beginning stages of their business, and then later I'll talk about someone who is a little bit further down the line with their business. So someone who's at the very beginning stages, getting their first clients ever. Hi, Roseanne. Thanks for that comment. Who's getting their first clients ever, you can use your intuition to try and figure out who your first clients will be. So when you're starting, your first clients are going to be your family and your friends. Those are the people who know you, who like you, who trust you, and so those are the best people to chat with, and for them to become your clients, because people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, and the people who already know you, like you, and trust you, all of that work is done for you. So why would you start with a stranger on the street? Hey, Beth again. Why would you start with a stranger on the street when there are people in your life that already know you, like you, and trust you? That work is all done. All you have to do is see if your product or service is a problem, it is going to solve a problem that they have. But you can use your intuition on this. So if you're one of those people who's at the very beginning stage of your business, at the very beginning stage of finding clients, just take a minute and breathe. We can all breathe here. Breathing is good. Deep breath in, and out. And just think about who in your family or who in your friend group would be a good first client for you. Who does your product or your service? Who has a problem that you think you could help them with? Because for intuitive marketing, that's kind of the first step. So just using your intuition, and here's the thing, sometimes you're going to be right and sometimes you're going to be wrong. So this is all a learning process. If you're like, in my heart, I really think that my sister Joanne is the perfect fit, and then you reach out to her and she doesn't want to work with you, like, don't worry about it. This is a process. You'll get better at it as time goes on. But this is a good place to start. Okay, like trying to tune in and think of 4 or 5 people in your life that might be interested in your product or your service, and then reaching out to them. And then if they're into it, amazing. And if they're not, moving on to the next. And then I wanted to talk about also, how do you use intuitive marketing if you're at a little bit of a later stage? So you've worked with 5 to 10 clients, you are starting to gain confidence in yourself and the service that you provide, but you're ready to grow, you've kind of tapped out all your family and friends that are interested at this point, and you need to start getting yourself and your service in front of a new audience. How can you use your intuition at that point? So the next level of intuitive marketing is collaborating. So I'm not going to tell you about, like Facebook and Facebook ads, although I do think those things are a good idea. Those are not my expertise, so that's one thing that you can look into and you can learn from the other industry experts. But what I want to talk to you about is guest posting and getting on people's podcasts, because that is a 100% free way to market yourself and a great way to get yourself out there once you've worked with some family members, some friends, and you're ready for the next level. You're ready to get yourself in front of more people. So the way that I suggest that you do this is just start thinking about what websites and what podcasts do you already listen to? What are the thought leaders in your space that you're really interested in? What Facebook groups are you already a part of that you feel like this Facebook group is my tribe, these people are my community? So again, it's tuning into yourself and the things that you love to start to see where you want to market yourself. And when you start to do this process, I can almost guarantee you're going to think of like Oprah. You're going to think of like Tony Robbins. You're going to think of like these people that are a little bit out of your league at this stage. If you've only worked with 5 to 10 clients and you're ready to get yourself in front of more people, trying to get on Super Soul Sunday with Oprah or trying to get an interview with Tony Robbins to begin with isn't the first step, because that's too big of a leap. It's kind of, you want to be putting yourself in front of audiences. You want to be partnering with someone that ideally has a bigger audience than you, but you can't go from 0 to 100. You can't go from never having an article published anywhere to getting published in the New Yorker. And I can say that with confidence because a couple of years ago, I was like, I love the New Yorker. I want to get published there. And I submitted a couple things and I didn't hear anything, when before that I'd only been published one place. So that was too big of a leap. But you can start to think about, okay, I like people like Oprah, I like people like Tony Robbins, and then you actually have to get online for this. I know some of you maybe are, have some aversion to spending time on the internet, but you need to do some research and start to find people who are at a smaller level than Oprah and Tony Robbins, but are at a bigger level than where you're at. So I'll give you some examples and some places to start, because if you're listening to this, maybe we have some similarities and this might help you out. So for me, some of those places have included the website Tiny Buddha. I love their articles. They're all like self-development, personal development stuff, which is my jam. And they have, 4 million subscribers. That's pretty huge. That's pretty big. So they're definitely ahead of the curve in terms of me, but they're not at the level of Oprah. So that is a website that is a good place for someone like me to approach. Another website that I really like that I'm starting to write for is called Introvert Dear. Again, I think they have around the same number of subscribers, and they are, topics that I'm interested. I am introverted, so I like their stuff, and so I'm excited to start to write for them. Some places I've written for before even that, I used to, at my old job, I used to occasionally write blog posts. So if you work at an organization right now, you're starting your business, but you haven't jumped ship yet, see if there are opportunities at your current workplace that you could do some writing or do some sort of communications work. As well, I wrote a column for a little while for Yashodhara Ashram, which is an ashram that I lived at and was a very big part of that community. So again, thinking of the people that you actually know that might have some sort of communication need, and think about how you could support them. And as you go through the list, you want to tune in with each of these places, and you want to kind of feel into who you are and into your heart, and feel like, is this organization, is this post that I could write, is this podcast interview that I could do aligned with who I am? Because that's the intuition part. A lot of small business coaches and even larger business coaches are saying grind, put yourself out there, put yourself out there, which I think for some people is the right fit. But for someone like me, I want everything I do to be really aligned with who I am. And I also don't have the energy to do the number of pitches that some other people just have, more energy for the grind than I do. So for me, I want to only be pitching to places that I would be super stoked if I got them. So for those of you who maybe this is of interest of, I want to let you know about some more places you can think about, some podcasts I've been considering. So there's a podcast called The Creative Introvert. There's a podcast called The League of Extraordinary Introverts. There's a podcast called Courage Makers Podcast. These are all places that are, these podcasts are relatively established. The quality, and the content is really good. I've listened to them. I really like the hosts. I feel aligned with their vision, but they're not quite at the Tony Robbins level that I know for me is way out of my league at this point. So that is what I wanted to share with you. I know a couple of you are around Hi, Beverly. I'm not sure if you're still watching. Hi, Dakota. If you guys have questions, I'll stick around about this concept. I'll stick around for a couple minutes. Type in your question to the comment now, because I'd love to address if there's any reason that you're thinking now, that's not going to work. Please write me a comment, because I'd love to talk to you about that, hopefully address that, or maybe, maybe you are right. The other thing is if your business and the clients that you're getting are like, it needs to be in person. So some people have say an interior design business or a psychotherapy business where your clients need to be in person. When you're thinking about this kind of stuff, you need to be thinking about local publications, right? At that point, you're looking more at the websites that are available in your community, or the newspapers, or even if there's a podcast or a radio station that's local, that's going to be a better fit for you than going to somewhere like Tiny Buddha that does have 4 million subscribers, but they're all over the world. They're not just in your specific region. So you have to think about the practical, the logical, and then you have to tune in and feel like, okay, is this aligned with who I am? Okay, I am not seeing any questions for now. If you're watching the replay, feel free to write questions in the comments and tag me. I'll come back and look at them and try and get all of your questions answered. If you like this video, please click one of the like buttons, or the love buttons, or the ha buttons. If you know someone who you think this information would be helpful for, please tag them so that they can have a look at this video as well. And yeah, I hope you're having a great Friday, getting ready for the weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, thanks so much. Bye.